Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you clicking on that video as always. And we are doing week 12 of my weekly wears, what I wore last week, every day, all the fragrances covered in this video. If you like this format, if you like these videos, please let me know in the comment section below. It seems like you guys do, so I'm gonna continue to do them. So on Sunday was Mother's Day, and I wanted to go with a fragrance that my wife enjoys on me, one that she really likes. Has even told me that she thought it was sexy, and you know, that's always a good thing when your wife calls your fragrance sexy. Really can only mean good things for you guys. So fragrance I went with was John Varvatos, the OG. Now, she loves this one. I love it as well. But it just has this fruity sweetness up top. Fantastic, very unique. It's tamarind in this, along with, I believe, dates. It's also ambery and a bit almost like a Coca-Cola vibe to it. It has some bubbly sweetness up top. There's leather in this, although it's not, the leather just sort of balances out some of that sweetness in this. A little bit of vanilla. This scent to me is a really fantastic take on a mass-pleasing scent that's not a blue fragrance. This, I would imagine, a lot of people are gonna like. The scent is fantastic. I wish the longevity was a little better on this. After a couple hours, it becomes more of a skin scent, but this is one that I'm not afraid to overspray with. I can't imagine this really overwhelming anybody. It doesn't project like a beast, although it does perform fairly well for the first hour in terms of projection. Longevity, I'm only getting about 6 hours from it, but the smell is so damn good. It's a very unique smell. It has a lot of depth to it. And I think if you are a guy who wants a mass-pleasing sort of everyday wear, great for the office, great transitional scent from, you know, going to work that day and going out that night, this may be the scent for you. It's something a little different. I don't think it smells dated. It smells current. I also have a lot of respect for this one because it doesn't smell like anything else. And that's what I've found with a lot of John Varvatos fragrances, is that they do not smell like everybody else. I don't have anything quite like it in my collection. Absolutely love this one. Wore it on Mother's Day. John Varvatos, the original. So this next scent, I was hesitant on picking up. I saw it for a fantastic price. It was maybe around $16 for 100 mLs. And this scent, I have a lot of history with. It's not one that I wore, but it's one that smells dated to me, and not in the best way, and I'll explain. But the scent alone, I can really get behind. I enjoy it. I enjoy the scent profile. Scent I am talking about, Versace Blue Jeans. Versace Blue Jeans. This thing has been around since 1994. It smells like that to me, but I associate this scent. It's a very powdery scent. It is floral. It is aromatic fougere type fragrance, lavender. It is a scent of its time, if that makes sense. But I associate this with like the early 2000s. When I was in my early 20s, I can honestly say most guys were wearing this out. They were wearing this to bars, they were wearing this to clubs, and I have an association to that. Not that those weren't good times in my life, but it just brings me back to that time where it smells dated to me. It's not as current, but it is a very masculine scent. And it's funny because I pick up a lot of florals in this when I wear it on skin, mainly, but it has a ton of florals, and it is still leans super masculine. So it's one of the more masculine floral scents that I own, that I've smelled. Rose, carnation, heliotrope, jasmine. It's loaded with notes, but the essence of it is still that aromatic barbershop fougere with the lavender. Really beautiful smell, and super clean, and performs like a beast. This thing, honestly, for $16, the value to what you get from a performance standpoint is maybe second to none. It's incredible. It's one of the best performing fragrances. I think I paid $16 for this, and it doesn't smell cheap. It smells like a way more expensive fragrance than what you can get this for. I found it on the discount bin at like a Marshall's for $16, and I couldn't pass it up. Great scent. Not one that I'm going to wear a ton, but this would be a fantastic scent if you just get a fresh haircut and you want to, put a fragrance on. This is that type of fragrance that I envision, is just smelling super clean, fresh, and masculine. Love this one. Versace Blue Jeans. So on Tuesday, it was a little cooler here in Mass, and I went with a fragrance that really could work in less cooler weather. It could work on some warmer nights, but gets compared to Versace Eros. I personally prefer this one over Versace Eros, at least the EDT version. Scent I'm talking about, Guess 1981, Los Angeles. This has a really nice plum note to it. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's warm. It is just sort of that inviting, familiar scent. The same, it has the mint in this as well, the same as Versace Eros does. But I find that the mint in this is a little more green and herbaceous and less sort of that cooling spearmint that I get from Eros. I also get way more vanilla from Eros, and that's where a lot of the sweetness comes from Eros, where in this, it's a little bit fruitier, it's spicier, it's a bit warmer. So where it's cooling in Versace Eros, this is a bit of a warmer take on that DNA, in my opinion. I get decent longevity from this. I get about between 6 and 8 hours. Lasts really long on clothes, and it is one of those types of fragrances that works well on clothing. But yeah, just a spicier take, in my opinion, on the Versace Eros DNA. Really like this one, and I've been complimented on this one a few times. So I think it lends itself again to that familiar, mass-pleasing DNA of Eros, but with its own spin on it. Love this one. You pick this up pretty much at any Burlington at any given moment. I'm going to link this down below. But for $20, fantastic scent. Guess 1981, Los Angeles. So on Wednesday, I was kind of running around, had a bunch of errands to take care of in preparation for my daughter's christening, which was on Saturday. But what I did was I went with a fragrance that was just really an easy dumb reach grab. And funny enough, I don't really go to this one that often because I own another in the line that I prefer over this one. Scent I'm talking about, Nautica Blue. So Nautica Blue. I don't know. Feels like this is kind of a forgotten scent in my collection. It's woody. It's so it has a bit of a similarity to Nautica Voyage, which is that other fragrance that I was mentioning that I prefer over this. It's a real watery, aquatic floral to me. I pick up a lot of the jasmine, a little bit of the peach in here, that fruitiness that it lends, where that sort of replaces the apple. There's some cedar, sandalwood, and musk. Really, I mean, if there was a definition of a basic fragrance for men, I think it's got to be Nautica Blue. It's just sort of that, it has that sort of out of the shower freshness, shower jelly vibe to it a bit. But just, almost like a mall smell. Like if you're walking through, like, I know it's not a Tommy Hilfiger fragrance, but if you're walking through like the Tommy Hilfiger clothes at Macy's or the Nautica clothes, this is the smell that is sort of lingering. And it's a basic smell, really pleasant. It's not one of my favorites. Again, I don't reach for this that often, but I just wanted something that really just was not anything special or head turning or would garner me any type of attention. I just wanted to smell fresh and clean, and this definitely fits that bill. I would still choose Nautica Voyage over this fragrance. If you were trying to decide between the two, I would definitely go Nautica Voyage. But this one is no slouch. I mean, a lot of people enjoy this scent. It is really easy to like. There's nothing offensive about it. doesn't project particularly long. Performance is terrible in my opinion. I get maybe 2 or 3 hours from before I can't really smell it that much. And that was what I was going for this particular day. So really easy, $16, super cheap, but nice smell nonetheless. Nautica Blue. So on Thursday, I actually just recently did a first impressions video of this fragrance. It is the second I own from the house, and I gotta tell you guys, I'm really enjoying this one. Scent I am talking about is Pure Malt from Mugler. Fruity, chocolatey. I do get a coffee note in this, and like a lot of coffees in fragrances, it comes across as powdery to me. It's also happening in the one that I'm going to talk about next. But just a really enjoyable, fruity, boozy, sweet. I get a lot of the patchouli in this from start to finish. So to my nose, this is mainly patchouli and booze. And, with some sweetness, especially in the opening. And that patchouli just adds an earthiness to this. The dry down is just really nice and just a clean, sort of musky, earthy smell with that leftover sweetness. And it reminds me a ton of Kenneth Cole's Mankind Hero. So if you've smelled both of these, tell me if you get the comparison to that, because it reminds me a lot of that. This is also more aromatic, and although there's no lavender in this, I guess there's an airiness to this, is what I mean. There's an airiness to the scent that really this could be worn in more than just the fall and winter, although I think it would probably thrive in those months. It would work well in addition to that during the spring as well. And I wouldn't wear it in the dead of summer, but in the evening, quite possibly I would. Really enjoy this one. It's probably a good starting point if you're looking to get into the Mugler line. This and Pure Havane, probably the two most talked about fragrances in that particular line. And they compare it all the time. I don't get a ton of Pure Havane and Pure Malt, although I do get that Mugler DNA, which is very familiar and excellent in my opinion. Really love this one. I got it for a great price. I don't know if it's still available. It was on Aura Fragrance. I will link that down below to see if it is, but Pure Malt, Mugler. So on Friday, I picked this up. This is one that I had smelled a few times. Absolute hidden gem in my opinion. It's been talked about a bit in the community, but this scent is underappreciated and underrated in my opinion. Scent I'm talking about, Valor from Robert Graham. Now, if you don't know about this scent, oh man, this scent is sneaky, incredible in my opinion. I get in the air already, I'm getting sort of this herbaceous quality that is aromatic and light, and there's some sweetness. That herbaceousness is coming from the sage. It's woody, but it's just this woodiness that is just so classy. And there's a coffee note in this, as I mentioned. And this coffee note, again, comes across as powdery to me. I don't know why that is. When I smell coffee and fragrance, a lot of times it comes across as powdery. The only fragrance that does not come across as powdery to me is in Halloween Man X. But this is an ambery, sweet, a bit boozy, woody fragrance. And in addition to that, it's also this sort of slightly spicy, herbaceous qualities to it as well. And I really enjoy this one. This one is just super classy to me. It's versatile. This would be a great work scent in the fall and winter months. But I wore it on a fairly warm day and it performed really well. It wasn't offensive. It wasn't cloying in any way. So although this is sort of hailed as a fall and winter fragrance because of its sort of amber spiciness elements to it, I think with the herbaceousness in this from the sage and the woodiness, this is more of a year-round fragrance, in my opinion. I got fantastic performance the day I wore this. I probably got maybe 8+ hours from it. And I think this is an underappreciated gem. As I said, I think this is super slept on. If you guys have the opportunity to try this fragrance, I absolutely would say do it. It has a really nice bottle, really high quality bottle. The cap is a little weird, but the cap is cool at the same time. It has this sort of knowledge, wisdom, and truth with this dog's face on it, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, the bottle's a bit different than what anything else I have in my collection. Definitely give this one a try. Really enjoyed this one when I wore it on Friday. Robert Graham's Valor. Finally, on Saturday, I went with a fragrance. It was my daughter's christening, my youngest, Lucy, and we were going to be having people back at our house after the actual ceremony, and it was 85 degrees. So I wanted to wear something that was easy breezy in hot weather, and I can't think of one that's more perfect. Scent I am talking about, Sedley from Parfums de Marly. I love this fragrance, guys. It has a sort of feeling of like a Sprite almost. It's citrusy. It is fizzy. There's some ambrox into this, but it has this sort of fruity, minty, citric opening that is fizzy, not like a drink. Well, I guess, yeah, not like an alcoholic drink, more like a Sprite, like I said. I don't get really any booziness from it, but the mint in combination with some of those other notes just work really well. It is a blue fragrance, and I think it's perfect for the really hot days, because when this dries down, it dries down into sort of, I don't want to say basic, out of the shower, clean gel type smell, because that mint does stick around a bit. You do get some of that continued citrus as well. I just think it's really well done. It is perfect for super hot days, as I said, and it's one of my favorites from the house. I just love it. And this is one that you can overspray. You're not going to choke anybody out. I got really good performance from it. It lasted pretty much all day, probably 9 or 10 hours longevity, which I know that some people have criticized the performance of this in some of the batches, and then I guess Parfums de Marly went back to the table and said, let's make this stronger. They listened to the community, which is very smart. I wish more fragrance developers and companies did that, because a lot of times we can have fantastic scents that we fall in love with, but if you're hung up on longevity and performance, you'll never buy that again. So a lot of people are, unfortunately. Yeah, absolutely love this one. It got a few compliments from this, just that I smelled really nice. And it's one of those fragrances that you cannot go wrong with. I think dead of summer, spray this on. You can wear it out during the day. Could also wear it at night. Absolutely love this one. Sedley from Parfums de Marly. That's all I have today, guys. Let me know in the comment section below what your rotation was this week. We're getting into the warmer months, so I would imagine to start seeing more fresher fragrances being utilized from our collections. So I'm excited to maybe get introduced to a few new ones. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys wore. We just hit 900 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for the support. It does not go unnoticed. I appreciate all of you, all the ones that have been here since the beginning, all the new subscribers. Thank you. If you like what you saw today, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, hit that bell notification so you are updated whenever I upload new content. But until then, have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next video.